Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua. In this video, I'm going to give you some affordable under $20 fragrances. Yes, under $20. $20 doesn't mean it's going to smell cheap. Yes, $20 to me is affordable. For me, affordable is anything 35, even 40, you are stretching it. Even 40, you are stretching it, So when it comes to the new releases, which are pricing at around 59, 69, it's a bit too much for me when it comes to Middle Eastern or dupe fragrances. I would rather say you either wait on them for the prices to drop or you go for the older fragrances. Most of the time, older fragrances which have been on the market for 5-6 months or even more tend to be much more affordable because the hype might have dialed back and people are not buying them as much, so the prices do drop. But I'm going to recommend one particular website for you. I'm an affiliate to this website known as Jomashop, and I'm not doing this video because Jomashop has asked me to do this. No, I don't think they don't know that I'm doing this. I always link them in my description because I'm an affiliate, and you're going to get discounted prices on your fragrances. And in this video, I have about 10 recommendations which are going to be less than $20. Less than that. Even if you're not buying from Jomashop and you're looking elsewhere, the prices of these fragrances I'm recommending today are still going to be around the same $15 to $19, $20, So you don't need to necessarily be on Jomashop, just because I'm an affiliate. But it's already discounted. So you can look at Jomashop, you can look at other places. And the first fragrance I have here is going to be from Lattafa. I got this fragrance a year ago from Jomashop and it was $14.99. Khaltat Royal Blends, It was $14.99 and it's one of the best fragrances, for the price point. It is going to give you a spicy apple, pineapple with a heavy presence of an ambery woody touch, a very beautiful, non-synthetic, fruity, a fruit bowl sort of vibe, but not like a fresh, it doesn't come across as fresh. It comes across as a spiced, slightly baked goose sort of feel, in terms of the apple and then the pineapple. It is a very good one. I always get compliments on this. I think the first time I really appreciated this fragrance for what it was or what it tastes is when my sister borrowed it from it. I mean, she just picked it from my tray and used this fragrance, and I didn't know she had gone for this particular fragrance, and I got to around her and she smelled so good. I was wondering whether she was wearing one of her niche fragrances because she is sort of a niche snob, so I was wondering if she was wearing one of her niche fragrances, only for me to find out that she was wearing this one, and I was pleasantly surprised. And from that day, I've accorded a lot more respect to this fragrance. As a matter of fact, I've always said this smells so much better on my sister. I don't know, maybe her skin chemistry or whatever is better than mine, but it smells so more like very expensive. The fruits are there, but not like synthetic, spiced pineapple, apple, with that woody ambery touch, a very beautiful one. So Khaltat Royal Blends, under $20, $14.99. You cannot beat this. You cannot. The next one I'll put on this list is fairly new on the market, but Jomashop has this for $19.99. $19.99. This is a good one, when it comes to these sparkling, lychee, sort of, body splash, juvenile type fragrances. I think this one is in a league of its own. I love this fragrance, I sort of underestimated it. I really looked at it in a, in an indifferent way when I initially got this, but after about 4 months in my collection at this point, this is really beautiful. I would highly recommend this for the price that you are getting it now. Even if you are looking elsewhere on other websites and platforms or even walk-in shops, it is still going to be under $20 for the most part, or probably maybe nothing more than 25, but on Jomashop you're getting it for $19.99, and I will highly recommend this. Khair Fusion by Paris Corner. Another Paris Corner that it's a flanker to the Qissa, you know, the Qissa that I'm not too, I really don't like that Qissa Yara DNA, but this is Qissa Delicious, and this is 19.99 currently on Jomashop. I think even the OG Qissa, which I don't prefer, it's higher, you know, it's much more expensive, whilst this, which is my preference, is like 19.99. This is beautiful, like a dark chocolate, milky, lactonic feel with the lemony, you know, citrusy twist. It is quite a simple, comforting, cozy, warm Kashmiran feel sort of, you know, vibe. It is quite simple, but it's a simple that I love. I don't even just like this one. It's a simple fragrance that I love, you know, that lactonic nuance, good for every day, good for the office, nothing offensive. I would highly recommend that you check Qissa Delicious out. I think I've had a couple of people asking me to choose between this and, you know, something like caramel cascade and eclair. You know, for the price point, I think you can easily go for Qissa Delicious by Paris Corner. You know, for the price point, you cannot beat this. Another one I would want to put on this list is quite old, you know, a classic Lattafa at this point, and this is Ameer Al Oud Intense. And for this, I think the price is $15.99 on Jomashop currently. $15.99. This smells so expensive. It smells beyond the price, you know, point at this particular time. It smells delicious, gourmand, smoky, vanilla, like a very beautiful, clean, sultry vanilla with that smoky, sugary, you know, a bit of a lactonic nuance here with some chestnutty vibes, a bit nutty at the background, you know, dry down. A very beautiful one for $15.99. You know, you can't beat this. Ameer Al Oud Intense, you cannot beat this. I will always recommend this, you know. Even if you have this and you have touched it somewhere, you know, I think it's probably time to revisit now that the weather is about to get cooler, you know. But I don't mind at all. I wear this in a high heat. I do not mind at all. So Ameer Al Oud Intense, $15.99. I think it is like worth it, so worth it. Another one I would want to speak about, I don't have the bottle. I've never owned Oud Mood by Lattafa. I've never owned that. I used to own Shagaf Oud, you know, which I have decluttered, and I currently only own Reseller. But Oud Mood, for the price, Oud Mood is now $15.99 on Jomashop. For the price of Oud Mood, it is comparable to this. You know, I guess wanted to feel fancy and bougie when I got this, because at the point I got this, I already had Shagaf Oud, you know, but I was somehow struggling with the dry down of Shagaf Oud, so I wanted something, but I didn't want to get Oud Mood because I just felt at that time it was a bit too common. But come to think of it, how common can a very good fragrance be? You know, you rock it the way you want to wear it. This one has just the addition of the chocolate in it, which is much more like, you know, darker and sultry. But Oud Mood is a good fragrance. I would highly recommend Oud Mood by Lattafa. It is less intense, you know. It is more like a bit of a, it's not effervescent, but it has a lighter quality as opposed to Shagaf Oud and Reseller, you know. But for the price of Oud Mood, I mean, please, there is nothing that you can say that is going to convince me otherwise. I would highly recommend that. I smell Oud Mood on people all the time. I compliment people who wear Oud Mood, Shagaf Oud, Reseller, almost the same DNA, you know. But for the price point, I would highly recommend Oud Mood by Lattafa. I'm also going to go with another one here, which is going to be Velvet Oud. I have never owned Velvet Oud from Lattafa, but it's a fragrance I have smelled. I used to have a partner who used to use that fragrance, you know, and that is going to give you your the Tom Ford Tuscan leather with a hint of ombre leather, you know, effect. Very beautiful leather scent. It's like a rich tear rubber, you know, scent with the smoky nuance. Very beautiful, a bit masculine leaning, you know, masculine leaning, you know, but unisex if you love, you know, masculine leaning fragrances. A very beautiful leather scent with that smoky nuance, very beautiful, you know, and it also has some incense accord to it. I vividly remember how that smells. I have always loved that fragrance, although I have never owned it, and just because I don't own it doesn't mean I cannot recommend. I just feel like if it deserves to be known and, you know, accorded the hype or the respect, then I need to at least introduce it to other people. It's fairly old on the market. I know a lot of people might be conversant with it, you know, but I would like to reintroduce Velvet Oud from Lattafa to you, a very beautiful one. Another one that I do not own, but I have always smelled this, and I think it's going to be part of my next purchase, because anytime I smell this, I want to get it, but for some reason I have never bought it, you know, and that is going to be Lattafa's Sutoor. Lattafa's Sutoor, which has been likened to bitter peach. I think I've had a fragrance world, you know, dupe of bitter peach, but it didn't really work out for me, and I've since decluttered that. Sutoor is not going to give you that bitter peach, you know, exactly. It is like with a twist. Sutoor is going to be your spicy, boozy, blood orange and peach with some cardamom scent, you know, very spicy, quite aromatic. It will still remind you of Tom Ford's bitter peach, but not as earthy, you know, that earthy nuance of the peach that I get in even the dupes I have come across, you know. But Sutoor is a good one. I've tried it several times. Anytime I do, I've always been on the fence whether to get it or not, because I guess go like, do I really want to get this? But now that I think about it, you know, I really want to have that in my collection. It's going to be part of my next purchase, Sutoor from Lattafa, and that is slightly above the $20. It is $20.99, you know, $20.99 on Jomashop, you know, and it's definitely going on my next purchase. I love that scent, you know, and it's more of a spicy, very unisex, almost masculine leaning, you know, also giving me a bit of a Christmassy vibe with the boozy rum and brandy and the cardamom and the, you know, spicy. It's very beautiful. So Sutoor, my next purchase, and I'll highly recommend to you because of the price too. I'm going to go with Alhambra's Opera Noir. It is a bottle I own. It feels a bit screechy from the beginning. Honestly, Opera Noir, you know, an interpretation of Black Opium from YSL. I love that scent, you know. My original YSL Black Opium, I'm almost done with that, you know, and I decided to give it a backup bottle in the form of Opera Noir by Alhambra, and I have not, you know, I've not regretted that decision. Just that you need to give Opera Noir some time, because it needs a lot of time to macerate, to smoothing out. It is a bit screechy from the beginning, but if you have the patience for it, just, you know, allow it, spray some out and leave it for like 3 months, you know, and revisit it, and then you get the true essence of Black Opium with the coffee, praline, vanilla, you know, gourmand aspect. Very beautiful. So I would highly recommend Opera Noir, and currently it is selling for $19.99 on Jomashop. $19.99. You cannot beat that. Honestly, you cannot. I'm also going to go with one of my best white floral fragrances of all time. One of my best white floral fragrances of all time, Mazaaji by Lattafa. I used to call this fragrance Mazaaji, you know, and I've been corrected several times. Mazaaji by Lattafa, a very beautiful white floral, orange blossom, mandarin orange or Sicilian orange, you know, a light citrusy sparkling vibe. Very beautiful, very demure, you know, very considerate. Very demure and very considerate, like that TikTok guy always says, you know, very demure, very considerate, you know, very ladylike. That is the best way, you know, I can describe Mazaaji by Lattafa. It gives me, like, you know, regal aristocrat vibes without doing too much. Polished lady, very demure. That is the best way. So Mazaaji, it is currently going for $18.99. 18.99. I didn't bring my bottle here. I left my bottle back in Ghana, but I'm so tempted to buy another bottle of Mazaaji from Jomashop just because of the price. I remember buying it in Ghana for a lot more higher, you know, it was a lot more higher at the time I bought my Mazaaji. But now that I don't have it here with me and I'm looking at the price, 18.99, I'm being tempted to buy like a backup bottle, you know. So that is going to be Mazaaji. I'm going to go with the another one that I'm not on the veg, but I'm actually adding this one to Sutoor and one other fragrance from Jomashop I've been eyeing, I want to get, and that is going to be Abiyedh Poudree. Abiyedh Poudree. It is currently on Jomashop for $21.99, just a little above the $20 price point, but I'll highly recommend this. This I tried just like 2-3 times and I fell in love with it. It's Poudree, you know, like a sparkling powdery Poudree, you know, that is the name, foam. It's like about musk, it's about white florals, a bit of a citrusy sort of feel to it. It feels very demure, very gentle, very ladylike. I remember smelling this like on 2 or 3 occasions and I loved it for whatever reason. I don't know why I keep doing this. I try fragrances, I like them, but I don't go for them. Probably because I guess for like, oh, they are quite old and nobody cares, you know, and that is so stupid of me. It's not about somebody caring. It's about me liking that. So I'm picking up an Abiyedh Poudree from Lattafa. It is now $21.99. I'm picking up Sutoor, which is also around how much is Sutoor now? Sutoor is like $20.99. I'm picking that up. I'm considering picking Mohra Silky Rose, you know, it's also I think around $18. I'm considering picking that one up, you know, because it's a very beautiful light airy rose scent. So I'm considering picking those 3 fragrances, you know, which I currently do not have in my collection, but I would like highly recommend that you check those ones out, you know, especially if you are picking them up for these less than $20 prices. So I think the last one I have here is going to be Bint Hooran. Bint Hooran from Zaafaran. I hope I have not left anything out of the list, you know. But Bint Hooran from Zaafaran. I picked Bint Hooran like a year and a half ago, you know, because it was advertised as a dupe or inspired version of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Bint Hooran is a very good one, you know, a very light almondy, cacao-ish vanilla scent with some florals, you know. It has a plethora of notes here. I love Bint Hooran, you know. I prefer it over Kima by Lattafa, you know. There's something about Bint Hooran which feels much more sophisticated and much closer in terms of a dupe to Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. So I would highly recommend that. And Bint Hooran is currently going for $19.99 on Jomashop, you know. So these are 10 amazing, I think 10 or 11, you know, amazing fragrances. I can just close my eyes and go like, you know what, they're going to be, you know, save blind buys, you know, and they're going to smell so much expensive than they cost. They smell so expensive than they cost, you know. I'm so glad these ones are available. They are for the prices that a lot of us at least can go for. So give these older fragrances the chance, you know, and sometimes you just need to close our eyes and wait for some of these newly released, more hyped up, expensive, you know, fragrances to go down before we, you know, we sort of go for it. By that, we will most likely save a lot more money and use it to buy other fragrances and smell so much better, you know, for less. So these are the fragrances I want to share today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.